All right, welcome to the cyber cartography. We're going to be looking at all the hosts on our network. So we're going to first Control Alt T, open up terminal here, and get into sudo switch user. So we're going to get root. We're going to need that later. We don't necessarily need it now. So the first thing we're going to do is find out information about ourselves. So we're going to ARP A. This gives us our address resolution. So we are looking at 1015.01. And that is the default gateway, which tells us the very bottom end of our IP address range. And now we just need our subnet mask to see how many people are here. So IP ADDR will tell us our subnet mask, and I like this one because it gives us the information we're looking for in the -17. So we have our own IP address, which is 10.15.20.206, and then we have a -17, which is large. Most home networks are on a -24. And I will get into that a little bit later, and actually I won't talk about it at all, but if you look at the subnet range, we're looking at basically this 255.255.128, which gives us the size of our network. But the -17 is what you need to know, so I'm going to go with that. All right, so next thing we're going to do is use those 2 bits of information, which is our default gateway and our our subnet mask to actually do an entire scan. So before we do that, I gotta pause this, make sure you can see everybody without seeing their names. Alright, so the pieces here, so we have a lot of machines on our network, and the cyber.org range has provided us with several options. So we ever have Ubuntu CyberStart or the Windows 7 machines on almost every student we have in here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to come back over here, and we're going to take a look and scan this local network. So we're going to nmap, and then what we're going to do is put n. So we're going to take off the reverse name resolution. We only want the IP addresses. We don't really care about anything else. SN, and then we're going to put that 10.15.0.1, which we got from our ARP, and we're going to go our -17, which is our network size, which is what we got from our IP address, and we're going to hit enter, and I'm going to probably hit pause here. It's going to take a little while for that to cook. Depending on your network connection and stuff, it'll take longer or shorter. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is actually make a text file of this, because honestly it's going to be a lot to sort through these one by one. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. So sudo n sn, and we're going to add something to it. We're going to slash lowercase o. So output is greppable, og space slash, and we're going to take this whole thing and we're going to pipe it, which means we're going to take the output of this and push it into another command. And the other command is basically going to select only the hosts that are up. So if it is up, then what we're going to do is we're going to print the second caricature in. So it seems kind of strange here what it looks like, but really what we're doing is we're getting rid of all the details like this, and we're only printing what is the up version. So we're going to print that whole thing into a text file, and so we'll see how this works. And actually to make it into a text file, what we're going to have to do is, well, we'll run it first. We'll see how it turns out so I can show you. Hit enter there. It's thinking. I'll be back. Alright, so it got done cooking, and we're going to see what that looks like here. So these are all the hosts that are up, are all the IP addresses. We know these first two from our ARP, which are gateways, and then beyond that, these are all the computers that are running. So what we're going to do is basically do the same thing, and now we're going to pipe it, or not pipe it, but we're going to push it all to um, something on our desktop. So before we do that, we have to get to our desktop. It's just more convenient to do it this way. So ls here, cd into desktop. Oops. Tab. Alright, so now we're on our desktop, and what we're going to do is go back to here, and we're going to put this file on our desktop. So we're just going to kind of greater than sign, and then whatever this output, we're going to say hosts up.txt, hit enter, and it'll just sit here and cook. Now it's got to do the same process it did before, but what we're going to have here is a text file with all of those IP addresses in it, which is going to make our life easier later. So back to pause, see how that comes up. Alright, now that that's done cooking, it doesn't give us any output here, but the output here, and we know it's done cooking because we came back to the terminal root. We have a text file now with all of the IP addresses that are open on our network, and we're going to be able to use this later. So this is going to make our slow scans, instead of scanning for 4,000 IP addresses, which is what we were doing before, we're only going to be targeting the IP addresses that we know are up. That's going to make things much more efficient. So if you're trying to win, efficiency is key. Alright, so I'm going to stop recording this and get moving on.